don't have anything to say. Do you have anything to say?
I'm really not a big fan of how I get a lot of nasal drainage this time of year. Just thought that needed to be explained.
I feel like no one cares.
And that's fine. I'm willing to accept that.
So anyway, back to Bentley's outpost.
Oh no.
Hey bro, it'd be really cool if you smashed that boulder.
Hey, about that. Y'all good? I don't know.
If only it was British, it'd be butter. Just a bottle of water.
British. Let's see. So anyway, for some reason I was trying to turn the camera with the joystick, but at the time, PlayStation most PlayStation games were like, nah, we'll just have that there, being useless.
Yeah, a lot of PlayStation games from this time had to support a joystickless controller.
Yeah, that is true.
It was games like Ape Escape that brought about a requirement for a joystick.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about this Aliens game on? It was like a first-person shooter Aliens game on PS1.
Mm-hmm.
Was that like it was one of the first games to like have that kind of modern, like how we see as a modern way that first-person shooters are, or using the joystick to move, the left joystick to move and the right joystick to turn the camera.
Yeah.
And at the time, by critics, it was criticized as being like, something about that where it's just like, oh well, this is stupid. This is a stupid way to play the game, that kind of thing.
I wasn't paying any attention to which game.
This Aliens game on PS1. I can't remember exactly what it's called.
Is it related to the Alien franchise?
Yeah, Alien. Oh. Yeah, the Alien franchise.
I mean, how did the aiming work in GoldenEye? I've never actually played it.
I can't remember for sure. I do have it. I mean, you could give it a try later. I have it, but there was an option. I think either in both that game and Perfect Dark, or if it was just Perfect Dark, I can't remember for sure. There is an option to use two controllers and use like both the joysticks. That was genius. That was Nintendo features. It's best. I don't know.
So how did you aim? Use the C buttons?
Is there C buttons or something like? Yeah, it's something like that. It's kind of weird. But today's
the C buttons were a really stupid idea.
Yeah.
They should have been a joystick. If the C buttons had been a joystick like it was on the GameCube, and bigger than the freaking C stick on the GameCube,
yeah,
the N64 controller would have been far more tolerable.
Yeah. No, it's enter.
The N64 controllers suck. But what's worse are those N64 controllers where like, you have like the middle part and then the two side parts in grip.
Yeah.
There are some that don't have the side parts. Like, what?
Yeah, they went a lot of those. They went the opposite route of the problem. Instead of
I like the aftermarket N64 controllers that remapped it to basically be a Switch controller. Now those know where it's at.
Yeah. Hold on.
Or honestly, if they could just take an aftermarket N64 controller that's been remodeled into a GameCube controller effectively.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that people complain that, like, whenever someone says, well, this, like, Mario 64 hasn't aged as well, they always say, like, well, you're not using an N64, if they're playing on something else, so you're not using an N64 controller, it was built for that. I played it on there, I'm like,
Super Mario 64 is okay. To be honest, It's fine. I just don't enjoy it that much. I played it on that little 3D collection, and
the DS version is definitely better.
But I will say, like, I don't know, I started playing it, and then I just went to go play Crash Bandicoot, and I've beaten all 3 here recently. Got all the gems in the first and second one, and in the third one, I'll do the gems one day, but I need to stop for a while, because getting all the gems in the third one is brutal. Because that's the one where you have to get all gold or platinum relics to get the last gem. I've done it. It's a nightmare. Because you want to know one of the hardest levels to get above a blue relic? Freaking swimming levels.
Yeah.
They're very difficult.
Yeah. Well, that's what was I gonna say? That's I think they're considered what was it, Sapphire?
Yeah, it's Sapphire, but they're still blue.
Why does it feel like Ruby and Sapphire should be like they shouldn't be with the colors they are? Ruby feels like it more of like a blue sounding word, and then like Sapphire, you know. I know it's not spelled the same, but
it's fine.
That's something I always didn't get about like when Pokemon back when I was in elementary school when Ruby and Sapphire came out. But
I guess it was about to start the 6th grade.
Well, I think it was like 2002 or 3 or something.
I thought it was. Let me see.
I remember on the Powerpuff Girls they said Sapphire, but it was red when they were talking about Sapphire.
Thanks, bro. Here's a little...
Oh, it was 2002, so I was in the 5th grade.
Eric.
I remember getting the version of Sapphire on a vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember we were going on vacation.
Yeah, I remember it on. I got on vacation.
Oh no.
And it was the version that came with a strategy guide and a token. And I wish I could find. Obviously, they're long gone, but I wish I could find them again.
Okay, so remember we gotta deal with the hunter levels first because of that thing where randomly in the story it's like, oh, well, we're gonna have hunter get captured. You can't do any of the missions until you free him again.
Joke's on you guys. He's not here.
Oh ho ho! You know what's funny is that you're gonna play this level.
What?
Yeah. You're gonna do the speedways. Because I don't like doing the speedways in this game. Well, not the speedway itself. It's the races that I hate.
The racist? Oh my gosh.
So you there's right there.
Fine.
See, it's blue.
Oh gosh, I've had a Switch controller in my hand all week. Oh my gosh,
Good
I can't
job.
even do this. I can't remember how to do non-Switch controllers right now. Where's the music?
We have an old disc.
Frick.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you don't hear the music, it's our old disc. Let's see,
It's so weird. This is like kind of creepy without the
music. Creepypasta happens. There's blood.
Spyro 3.tar.gz.exe.
Yeah. Got a copy that.
Okay, fine. I guess if it was just Spyro.tar.gz, it'd be more like a stereotypical like Linux situation.
Yeah. There's the music.
Bonus points for anybody that knows how to open a tar file with Linux command line.
Does anyone know how to open up a tar nation file?
I know how to do one. It's just car space hyphen XZVF, which is like not a command everybody remembers, and it's funny because
look how they just don't even. Like the bears, they're just like they're just not even moving at all. They're just like,
oh my gosh, that frame rate. Holy crap, it looks like it's friggin' 10 frames a second.
I don't know. It's not normally like this. I don't know. Saber Spark put out a video that says it is like a quick review of Sing 2, and he said Sing 2 was pointless.
Well, the Sing movies are terrible, so...
At the very least, when they have the generic, like, songs and the stupid dances, at least they have an excuse because of the plot. They don't have them just to have them, you know? Well, okay, they did, but, you know, the whole concept. But, you know,
I mean, the whole movie was just a stupid contrivance to have singing.
Yeah, but, like, at least the plot is around it and not, like, they just have it just to be trendy, you know? Just you know.
Not a ragdoll, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just like a little statue just fall.
Well.
Alrighty.
And now you get to do the race and the hunter challenge. Whatever you do first.
I remember this being the toughest hunter challenge when we were younger. I don't even know why.
When we were younger, because we were dumb kids. Dumb, stupid,
dumb, boogery, stupid idiot boys.
Including our sister. She was also a stupid boy, right?
Yeah, that's a stupid idiot boy.
I think the music is just quiet when it starts out. Awesome. Yeah, I hate. This is one of the worst races in the game.
I will say, controls are definitely smoother in the Reignited trilogy.
In some ways. In some ways it feels smoother, in other ways it's a lot worse. Because, like, here's the thing, is that in this game, in the Reignited trilogy, well, in general, with the flight levels, he, like, shifts to the side because it's trying to be realistic. And I'm trying to figure that out whenever these game companies, like, try their best to make stuff quote-unquote realistic. I mean, we're talking about fantasy dragons and stuff here, and also, like, nowhere else is it trying to be realistic except for, like, the wrong areas.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it needs to be more realistic. Well, maybe if I'm playing, like, Gran Turismo, a driving simulator.
Yeah.
Or friggin' Forza or something. Like, that's fine.
But, like,
don't make my fantasy game realistic. The most you can make realistic is maybe the way a relationship works between two characters. That's fine. I have no problem with that.
And you don't need no physics engine for that.
Yeah, you don't need no physics engine for that. Sounds like something Drontron would have said. You got a new physics engine, so good it even makes the relationships between the characters better. How?
I hope you can get through this. You're still in third place now on the third lap.
I don't think I can. Have to work some miracles to pull that one off.
Oh. That's what I hate about these racing segments in non-racing games. You work all that way, and then it's just like, oh, well, you lost. Well, that was all pointless. You wasted your time. But it's all about the friends you make along the way.
I made 0 friends with a single one of these fracking bees. Okay, I'm so far away I can't even detect it. Part of it is just I have to reorient to these controls. There, I see the bee, but there's no way I can get to him in time.
No bees.
No, the bees.
Oh, the music's struggling to keep up. I can tell.
Poor music.
That's because you're just an old disc. So I've heard that like, so both like the worst of disc rotting out of the games are GameCube discs and Sega CD discs. Because with GameCube, when they decided to go to disc, they decided to go a really cheap route, apparently. And yeah, so GameCube discs are rotting a little faster now.
Why Sega CD?
I guess they also use some kind of cheap material.
It wouldn't have been cheap back then, though.
Well, probably not back then. I'm just saying, like they must have used some similar, like.
It might have just been the material. Like it might not even been so much cheap as it was. Just the technology just wasn't
Ready.
quite there yet.
Yeah. At least most of the good Sega CD games have already been re-released. So there's that.
There were good ones.
Well, I mean, okay, you had decent ones like Sonic CD. Yeah, Sonic CD was all right. Of course, there's a cult following for what do you call it, Night Trap. I mean, it got re-released on the Switch.
Really?
Yeah, I actually have it. And it's not a good game, but but I got it when it was really cheap, so I didn't want to spend a lot of money on it. I was just curious about it. Which is funny. People point out that this guy who was like, I can't remember if he was like somewhere working with Nintendo saying that Night Trap would never be released on a Nintendo system.
Yeah, well, I think after what happened in the GameCube days, and basically after what Sony and Microsoft effectively were doing with Nintendo, they realized, I gotta kind of open the market a little bit, don't we?
Of course, with the Wii, I mean, you had M-rated games, but it was just like, where you had more mature games, but it was like, definitely they saw the market of like people, they oversaturated it with cheapo games, or let it be oversaturated with cheapo games. I mean, every game system's gonna have their cheap games, but like the Wii and DS era were just like.
Dude, where is that last B? I don't know how. I don't even know how I can go any faster.
Oh, I know. They didn't do a good job at making these. Then again, they did have to kind of rush this game out to the market to reach the year of the dragon.
Yep, you can hear that music cutting in and out.
Yep.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay, Rocky. You go when you feel like it.
It just makes this one more special.
It's okay, PlayStation. You do music when you feel like it. Now I have to catch more of the boosts.
Yeah. You have to just not suck.
To reorient to a different joystick strength.
So, I remember this time when, our PlayStations kept messing up.
Yeah, well, the original PlayStation was not made with the best hardware. A good it had a great library.
Wasn't made with pieces that last too long. What I would suggest is hitting them just before they go after those things. Like, either right after they do it or right before, because then, like, as they're like cooling off or whatever you want to say, And I don't know if you should just keep going for that piece. Because you got one right there. But yeah, see, they can't speed through it if they...
I know.